I don't think it's supposed to look like that. Hello and welcome to Hard Way Learning, where we look stupid so you don't have to. Today we are working on the 1983 Porsche 944. Took this thing out to Oregon and back. Just rubbernecking is all we're doing. Parked it for a year, went to go pick it up, and then it did this. Blah, 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 blah. So now we towed it here. Yeah, I think it's the head gasket. All the coolant goes bye-bye and there's a lot of water that comes out of the exhaust and it doesn't run too good. Now, why the head gasket would just kind of fail after sitting for a while, I don't really know, but we could do a leak down, but it smells like coolant. It looks like coolant. I think it's coolant.
So gotta be going somewhere.
So I guess we start taking this thing apart, which shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. What is it, 10? It's a 10. Flatheads on the intakes. This flange. Brake fluid leaping through.
Yeah, I saw that and wondered. It kind of makes sense that that's what it would be, right? Intake has been outtaken.
I don't think it's capped. Feels like you might break it, and you might.
Turns out 40-year-old plastic.
Holds up pretty decent. We are removing the intake manifold, 6 millimeters.
Why is that so seized up?
Were you just tightening it?
No.
Taking the cover off.
I think now we crank this to TDC and then lock out the back, and then we can drain the coolant. Alright, so once you have the car locked into TDC, I would say watch the timing belt water pump pulley video, but basically got it to TDC, locked it out at the starter, loosened the tension on the balance shaft belt, remove the balance shaft belt, then loosen the tension on the timing belt by loosening the pulley, removing this guide, popping that off the camshaft. Now we're ready to pull the cam cover, I believe, so we'll be taking these 6 8mm hex covers off. Zoom Forge. before you get too far, you're gonna need a long 6mm hex. Fortunately, I got a wobbly one because that one back there is kind of hard to get.
Ball end. 6mm hex.
I always like to get these started before taking all of them out so that you don't crack anything. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 13, 14, 15 of them. All right, well, we got the cam tower cover off. It was the 6 across the top, 9 across the bottom. Our oil looks like it might be mixing with some coolant, which I've already done the oil cooler, so I don't think it's that. And the fact that it was consuming so much coolant when we tried to start it earlier this year, I'm hoping it's the head gasket. But while we're in here, we've got a secondary issue. It's like the intake valve spring has snapped, so I don't know that was really keeping it closed correctly. And hopefully, I feel like I've heard that the early cars are non-interference, but we will soon find out if that thing was kissing any pistons. Okay, so now we are taking the exhaust manifold off of the head very slowly. There's 4 to 5 that are okay access, and then 3 of them that you gotta get like an open-ended wrench on, roughly. So once we get those off, we should be able to tackle the head studs. Those are 12mm nuts. Alright, so we're disconnecting this vacuum line to here because I'm just going to disconnect the hose to this outlet. I think that's the heater control. Heater control valve is back here. So we should be able to just sneak that off with this clamp. So we're going through and pulling off all the head bolts. I think there's about 10 of them. And washers. It's easier said than done, I guess. Alright, so now that we got...
Think that frozen stud is causing us any problems?
I don't know. I hate to crack that thing. Alright, so we sat with some heat right here on our busted stud, and it seemed to free it up. Now I think... Oh, it's still sticky over here.
Oh my god, it looks nasty.
We're gonna have to I think we're gonna have to get this outlet off because there's just not enough slack to clear the studs. Oh, that looks gross.
Surprisingly, those all look... It's not so good.
Well, I'd say that looks like there's coolant right there. But where was the leak path? Oh, right here maybe?
Yeah. I wonder if we get this off, if you find a crack. Look at this. I think it's cracked.
Yeah, it looks like the block might be cracked.
Over here too. That's not what you want.
Well, now what do we do, Dan? That means that whole engine has to come out. Ah, that's fun. How do we do that? This is a turning point.
That guy's still selling those 07K swap kits?
Yeah, but that's like $8,000.
Should we start taking that thing apart? Get it over to Rick, quick?
I mean, I'm sure I can get a long block for like $500. This is real, like the head's the block is
What's going on with the head?
well, just that valve spring.
Yeah, but like that's rebuildable. The cracks in the cylinder walls are less...
I don't think it's supposed to look like that. I don't think it's supposed to look like that.